but we do have one last big reveal to go over tonight.
One big reveal?
You keep saying things in the chat.
What do they say? What could it be?
Let's go.
What is it?
Trusted allies.
Shit. Oh, shit.
The balance of the world is fractured.
Hi, Cinema's in the chat.
Lucien's machinations threaten the world in ways even he could not have imagined. And despite every sacrifice, every loss, we must yet redouble our efforts. Guardians of Armadil, it was never my desire to ask this of you. White Knights of Falador, we must put aside our differences once again. Adventurer, I ask that you bring your
that's me.
force to bear.
In the full Bofa.
We must continue
That's me in
to
the front.
risk everything.
Black
to
Bofa.
stop
Infernal
the
Cape.
forces of destruction.
No, I don't have prims.
was
Damn it, that's not me.
never meant to open Guthix's archive. The final resting place for
This is
objects
so
of
sick.
untold power stands exposed before us. A battle rages on between numerous factions.
That's Torva? I know, that's why I said
we
it wasn't
will
me.
not be welcome.
Just making sure you guys knew.
War cannot be allowed to rage on the surface, or we will never know peace. Chaos must be contained,
Oh, God.
or the world will burn with its will. A lust for power shall not be satiated, or everything will be lost.
Hype!
We are the only ones standing in the way of an endless war. The power in the archive may aid us if we are strong enough. The balance must hold, no matter the cost.
Oh, snap! The Fractured Archive, boys! There it is! I haven't been able to tell you guys this whole time. The Fractured Archive is the name of Raids 4. It's going to be a sequel to While Guthix Sleeps. So get the quest done. Hell yeah!
Holy Pog Champion, what a reveal to end on. Our fourth raid is finally on its way, and we're going to be talking to Mods Arcane and Ed in a few minutes to find out more. But before then, let's have a quick look at Old School's roadmap for this year, because there are some things that we've not talked about in there. Right, look at that. And alongside this, we have a new command for you, and that is !roadmap.
You'll also see there are 2 releases on the roadmap that we have not spoke about today. We'll be doing another sweep up this year, following the huge success of the summer sweep up in 2025. So expect a bunch of blogs going into detail on a whole host of changes.
But it's not coming out till December, so...
We're talking skilling, PVM, and
don't get too
systems,
excited.
World/UX polish, and much, much more.
Yeah, and in addition to that, you may also remember that when we first announced Gridmaster last year, we spoke about the bingo system being designed with a life beyond that event in mind, and we're excited to announce that Old School RuneScape will have a bingo community feature coming this autumn, if it passes a poll, of course.
Yeah,
okay.
So good. I think I can't stress how important.
You guys want a built-in bingo?
Yep.
To Old School as a whole. You know, we've always done
From Jagex, where if somebody gets an item, it actually tells you,
the last couple of years,
and nobody can cheat.
Genuinely, quite a big difference to making sure we're looking after the game, ready for the future.
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming if it passes the poll.
Yeah, huge amount of info to be shared in there. And remember, folks, if you've not been able to catch up on everything, stay on top of it whilst we've been talking through, then just head to the Old School RuneScape website. There is a whole bunch of blogs that the community team have been working tirelessly to get uploaded and live ready for right now. They'll all be on there. Go and have a look at them, take a read through them. Maybe just wait until after the stream, though, because we are going to now have a lovely chat with Mods Ed and Mods Arcane. I don't know if I call you Mods Arcane. Mod Ed, Mod Arcane. Welcome both to the stream. How are you both doing today?
What a cool
I'm
set.
doing great. I feel really nervous and excited, and I really want to read Twitch chat right now.
Well, you can't. Sorry, we can.
There was so much anticipation for this video to finally go.
Yeah, they were saying, "Oh God, that's Mod Arcane. Who invited this guy?" No. They love you, really. No, there's so much to dive into. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk raids.
Yo, W
We
set,
want to have
man. This looks
initially
so cozy.
a little bit of a lowdown. So, what can you say about how it feels to finally being able to talk about the?
Did you meet all these mods? Yes.
It feels great. We've been thinking about this raid for
Except for
almost
mod
like
Ed
3 years
Sheeran.
now, right? Obviously,
I didn't meet him.
away, we're thinking like, what's next? And as much as we're all kind of exhausted at the end of that, we're like, we've got to start preparing, right? And thinking about what would be working, what would work really well, so we can start like moving towards that direction. And there actually has been some hints in the game, like post Wild Gothic Sleeps, like kind of alluding to this for the people that maybe have been a bit more keen eye. But yeah, it feels great to be able to talk about this and start comms about like rewards and things like that going forward.
Have we seen anyone see those hints at all? Or comment on
I've seen it on the wiki, so people definitely do know.
Of course, the wiki.
The wiki knows everything.
They're always watching.
How about you, Ed?
Yeah, it's. I think it's just really exciting to be working on. I don't really know how to sort of like word it. Sort of like, I feel like this maybe isn't what people were expecting, but I think hopefully in a good way. Like it's a really nice surprise that we're.
Were you guys expecting Raids 4 to be Wild Gothic Sleep sequel?
Sort of thematics. Like,
Was anyone expecting that?
The last couple of raids, it's sort of like. You could kind of guess we were going to go.
Nobody
to the
was.
desert. Like, oh, this desert raid, that was sort
Nobody
of a given. Like,
was.
vampire raid, okay, yeah, sure, that made sense. But this is sort of like, it was sort of a bit of maybe one that people maybe weren't expecting, but I think hopefully still really exciting. It's really nice to be able to really surprise people.
I thought it was
with
going to be a
this
sailing
one, and
boss.
it's some really, really awesome thematics.
Sailing combat's not there yet.
I mean, the video is so good. Like that really helps to sell it. Obviously, we can't go into like giving absolutely everything away. But can you walk us through any of the learnings that we've taken from the previous raids and how they're informing the design for this one, Arcane?
So there's 2 big ones in my mind. One is we're kind of like cutting out a lot of the chaff. Like we're trying to like have like a bit of a lean, like focused experience, and that's kind of the big part that we've seen over the past 3 raids. Is that the thing that people like the most is the bosses, is a reality, right? So TOB obviously didn't have like any skilling content or anything like that.
Did you like the 2 bosses you play tested?
Format that kind of resonates the most.
I didn't.
As much as it might not necessarily be everyone's favorite raid, it's definitely the one that stands out the most when people do have a favorite raid. So we kind of want to lean into that a lot more. So this raid is going to be like a more of a lean, focused bossing experience. No skilling, no puzzle rooms or anything like that. No invocation system. As much as there was like pros to that, there's obviously cons as well. And we just want to focus on having really good, like epic bosses.
Yeah. It's always really hard to get difficulty comparisons, right? Because like,
And whatever
there's so
boss
many
I
different
would have
vectors that
tested
you can
potentially,
consider
if I
difficulty.
did, I would have
But
killed
how-
it easily in one try.
How would you start to describe where this raid is going to be positioned? Like
keep that
compared
in
to
mind.
the existing raids we already have.
So because it's obviously releasing in like this year kind of deal, is that the stats and things will be kind of like brought up to match what the current power level of the game is. Obviously the game, we keep adding more items and things like that. We kind of need the monsters to kind of represent that as well, otherwise it starts to get a bit wonky. So naturally the stats will just be higher, right? But mechanically, generally we're trying to push different avenues, make things feel different and exciting, and try and push our players a little bit more. And this raid's definitely trying to push in that direction and be kind of like the hardest raid of the kind of the set, so to speak.
You would die to that boss as fast as you died in
You might not be able
DMM.
to do it, Aiza.
I'm gonna time you out for 1 minute and make. And why don't you go think about what you just said?
Oh,
huh?
why am I suddenly copping play?
Someone has to be.
I mean, I might not have done a lot, but I've got like, I don't know,
Nonsense.
60, 70 top completions.
You just like outed yourself on
Yeah.
stream with that.
That's okay. I mean, 60, 70 is better than none.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
you know.
Yeah,
No,
keep sitting here in silence
I'm-
and let you just
my
keep
little-
taking all of these and not reveal like
Digging
how many
your
times
hole.
I've completed Tom or anything like that.
All right. Does anyone want to raid with me? I can show you that I'm capable. I just don't have a blowpipe.
Yeah, 100k C-Rex, sorry.
All right. Anyway.
And because
how did you
Sardaco
settle on the
suggested
theming
it, they're
for
gonna
this raid?
add a
Galaxian
grouping
Archive
system
seems
and make
quite
it
a
easier to
faraway,
queue for all raids.
Kind of like setting versus the other raids that we've done.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. Like we
The crowd
wanted
goes
to
wild.
Do something that wasn't immediately obvious, but was still really exciting. Like we've just obviously seen people say, "Oh, maybe there's going to be a sailing raid next," that sort of thing. Don't get me wrong. Watch this space. I'd love to do a sailing raid. Maybe in 3 or 4 years' time we'll be back here talking about the sailing raid. But given we only launched it a few months ago, I think it was maybe a bit too soon to start thinking about that sort of thing. And this was a really good opportunity to do something unique. I think what's really nice about all our raids, they are all unique in some way, and that includes like the thematics of them. And to be able to do stuff with Guffix, we've not really done too much with him, but despite how important he is, and to be able to take advantage of, we sort of alluded to this earlier, but tying it to while Guffix sleeps. So I guess on that note, what I can confirm is that while Guffix sleeps will be a requirement for this raid. It directly follows on from what happened in while Guffix sleeps. And as the trailer sort of alluded to, it
obviously I already have that done.
Back down in that cavern again. Lucian has, I should say, spoilers for anyone who's not played while Guffix sleeps, but
no one dies, right?
Lucian final boss confirmed.
While Guffix sleeps.
Lucian final boss.
Lucian has obviously claimed the Stone of Jas from the caves deep below Lumbridge, and he's got his grand prize, but there might have been a few other things that Guffix left stored down there, deep and theoretically safe below the earth, but now Lucian has uncorked the bottle, really, by sort of exposing this archive, and as we saw in that trailer, there's now a lot of different factions, quite interesting getting their hands on what we're going to find there, and it means we can do something that we've kind of not really done before with the other raids. With the other raids, it's kind of all been like new bosses, new creatures, that sort of thing, but with this one, we've got a really fun mixture of like characters you've seen before in old school, characters who you haven't seen in old school but might know from RuneScape history, and some brand new ones as well, and that's both characters who are helping you, but also with the enemies you'll be encountering as well. But to say any more would be a spoiler, but I think it's going to be...
just getting into it.
It's going to be really fun. This is our first raid where you're going to like walk in and there's going to be some of the bosses, you're like, oh, I know who that is, and that's going to be that's really quite exciting.
I mean, it's so hard knowing so many of the details and seeing so many of the like prototypes we've already got going. It's so exciting, but we can't possibly go too much into detail about it. Obviously, you mentioned while Guffix sleeps requirement. While Guffix sleeps is part of the Margaret story.
My bad.
How does this raid really tie into everything else we're doing there?
Yeah, so I imagine there's probably a few people, such as Aiza, already getting absolutely terrified that hardest raid yet. We sort of maybe sort of trying to say.
I'm not terrified, by the way. I'm actually very excited.
So to make things very clear, no, don't worry. You're not going to have to complete this raid to be able to keep continuing the Marjarat storyline. This is, I guess, it's
hardest
a
raid
of the Marjarat storyline. It's sort of like it's a really fun way to sort of tie up that loose end of that archive and do some things with some characters who otherwise we maybe wouldn't have been able to do anything with. So it's not a direct continuation of the Marjarat storyline. But as always with stuff like this, I might
guys, are Raids 4 is coming out in December or January or possibly February
will be going in the
of next year.
Okay. Now at the
I don't even know if they have this thing done yet. I'm gonna be for real.
From you, Arcane.
They couldn't reveal it to us at the thing because I'm pretty sure it wasn't even done yet. I'm pretty sure they don't even know what the last boss is going to be yet. And they definitely don't know anything about the items or any of that stuff.
If I'm going to be honest,
too early.
We've started exploring the space quite a lot in terms of like what's the new mega rare, what's the new armor set, like things like this that we think players expect with every raid.
He's in charge of making the mega rare.
And just trying to figure out what are the options. Like the shadow from TOA was just obvious. It kind of just wrote itself, as much as there was a bit of a back and forth in that as well. The space was obvious. The space is less obvious here, and we're definitely going to be taking the journey with the players to figure out what this looks like and figure out where people's feelings really lie. There's a lot of like weird tenuous things of like, can a mega rare ever be something that's not a weapon? Like maybe that's just a hard rule that all the players are like, no. And I think that's probably quite likely, to be honest. But there's a lot of things like that avenue that we kind of need to communicate and just get the ball rolling. So we don't really have any like really strong ideas right now in terms of like this concept is great.
I think some people were saying is like a shield that also gives you damage. So it's like tanky and offensive.
A heavy ranged mega rare look like? Can we think of something that would be really cool there, and like where would players use it, etc., etc. So there's a lot of ideas. We've already started some things, and some NDA player groups and things like that, just figuring out like what do people think, and then we're going to expose that wider and have wider and wider conversations on those topics.
Amazing. All right, I really look forward to that. So lots of consultation to come on those rewards.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess then it's worth pointing out, actually, obviously it's the summit. We normally do a poll at the end of the summit. You will be able to get to vote on whether or not we should add
The next mega rare is going to be an infinite golden Chinchampa.
Hold at a later date. We want to make sure we take the time to talk through those with you all. Make sure that you're really happy with what it is that we have on offer, and that it just makes sense to be coming from the content. So
it's a
lots
Chinchampa
of
boomerang.
interesting and exciting conversations to come, no doubt. And I'm sure Mod Goblin is going to have fun working on that with you.
The rewards are always the fun bit. They really are. They're the most challenging. Yeah. None of us are worried about raids passing the poll.
I mean, if it fails, actually, I shouldn't say this because I don't want to present a challenge to you guys. Like,
it's called the Chinchumarang.
That would be devastating.
Nice, Peller.
Hey ho, maybe you really don't want a new raid. I don't think anyone's really that anticipating it. No one cares, do they? No?
Next mega rare is hair for Sardaco.
No one's mentioned it once. Anyway, thank you so much, both.
Why don't you
for
think
joining
about
us.
that
We really appreciate
while you're
taking
timed
time
out for a minute
to be here? But let's move on to
that,
another
Joy King?
much anticipated game mode, which is League 6. So if you
Maybe
want to
come back with a better idea.
Part the set. Leave Winter Wonderland, and we shall welcome on.
Get out of here.